Hello crafty peeps, this is Angela Holt from Angela Holt Designs. I'm sharing with you today a product that I have been using for years to help me remove adhesives or mess-ups that I have, and I wanted to show you the different ways that this product can be so helpful to us in the crafting industry. And this product is readily available at your local Walmart, your local department stores, all your craft stores. You can order it online almost anywhere, Amazon, eBay, anywhere. This product is called Undo, okay? It's a sticker tape label remover. It does a lot it does a lot for of what this product is, and it's like a liquid remover, and it has a little scraper on here, and I'm going to show you different ways that this product has helped me throughout my crafting to help undo those mishaps, or we need to reposition something, and you know how sometimes you'll lift stuff up and it'll ruin your paper or your project, and you're like, well, I'm just going to leave it or paint over it or completely change the whole concept of your design because you couldn't get the product off. Okay, so I'm going to show you some different things that this product can do. Now I have several different things here. Here's a metal filigree, and I'm just going to put some hot glue on here, and I'm going to accidentally and purposely just glue this this large pearl onto the metal piece here by accident. And as you can see, if I try to lift it off now, I'm going to end up bending the metal piece or messing that up. Another thing I'm going to show you is we're going to put some hot glue onto this paper, and we're going to glue it. Now we all know what hot glue does to paper. If we try to lift it up, it'll rip it, and as you can see there, see how it's ripping that? Well, watch this. If you take your Undo, okay, and you lift it, and then you let it saturate the paper. And the one thing that is awesome about this product is that it doesn't ruin your paper. Because see, look, it lifts it right off. Paper is smooth like that. And then if I take the heat gun to the paper, it's as if the paper was never ruined. Okay, that is one awesome factor. Okay, say we got some double-sided tape here. I'm going to use the same piece of paper. And you know how we take double-sided tape and we get it on there. And I'm going to do it on this side. And then you try to lift that off. As we all know, see what it's going to do? If we try to lift it off, well, if you take your Undo and you do the same thing you've done with your hot glue, just like this, let it saturate the paper. Again, it lifts it right off like this. It lifts it off from the piece that you got, and if you want the glue off of this side of the paper where you have it, you just saturate the glue strip. You can let it sit there a moment, and then look, it lifts it right off without any residue left on your paper. As you see there, you just take some adhesive, your heat gun, and see, it doesn't even look like you ever glued anything on that paper. The only place you see here is when I first lift it up to show you what it would do if we didn't have the Undo. Okay, look at that. And see, you see this hot glue residue right there? Watch this. You put some undo on it like that. I always like to put my lid on it when I'm scraping. Look, it lifts it right off like butter. That's your hot glue. See? Lifts it right off like that. See? Now you don't know. Let's do that again, because that was exciting, wasn't it? Now your paper doesn't even look like it was ever glued. Let's do that again. We're going to put some hot glue on here. We're going to let it dry. You see? Go set it here. Now I'm going to show you on fabric. While this is drying, I'm going to show you. I'm going to set it right there, so you see I'm not doing anything with it here. Okay? I'm going to put some hot glue on fabric. I'm going to mess up this doily. Look. Because I am that certain that undo will undo it. You're like, oh my God, you just messed up that whole doily. See, I've got glue residue on it and everything. Okay? I'm going to let it sit there a minute. Have you ever done this? Put your pearls on wrong and then you've got all of this residue right there, see? And it pulls the shiny part of your pearl off. Not anymore. Look here. Again, we're going to saturate the area with the undo. And ba-bam. And look here, you see the hot glue? Comes right off. Can you see that? And you're not damaging your pearls. Your pearls are not losing any of their luster or anything. And you can take this stuff right off. Okay, say you got a strip of pearl here and you got residue left on it from another project and you're like, I will eventually get all this off. If we try to pull this off, we will more than likely rip the thing. So all you're going to do is you're just going to put a few drops of the undo on there, like that. Let it sit there a minute, you know, a few seconds or so. And look, comes right off. And you saved your pearls. Okay, here we go. That's the hot glue, and we know if we try to peel this off with our fingers or our tweezers, it's going to rip the paper. It's might near impossible to do without doing that. So, just let it soak there a minute. Okay, did you see? And I like to put my lid back on my undo. Now watch very closely. Let's start right there. Look. Takes it right off. See? There you go. How cool is this product? Okay, let's go back to the fabric. You're like, oh my gosh, look, see, if I try to pull it off, it's impossible. No. I have the confidence. Okay, we're just going to soak the area. I'm just going to soak the fabric, just like this. Okay, with fabric, I would let it set a few moments. It's working the adhesive, now watch. No damage to the dolly. Okay, now I have all this glue residue. You're like, ooh, it's left on the piece I didn't want it to be left on. Okay, what you can do is you can soak it, let it set a moment, and while it's setting, okay, I want to show you this. I've done this tag, and I have a heart. I don't like the placement of these roses. Okay. You can undo your roses and your flowers without even hurting them. So you're just going to soak the underneath here, just like that, with a few squirts, like that. I'm going to put the lid on. And take the little tool and lift the rose right off, still there. Just be gentle. It's taking the glitter off too. There you go. You would have to let it set just a little bit longer. But as you can see, it'll take glitter off as well. I'm going to show you, because I can redo this tag. See how all this glitter? Here you're like, ooh, I got glitter everywhere. And I didn't want it on that edge. Like that. Okay? You're just going to let it soak a moment. Now, this is saturated. And look here. I'm peeling it off of fabric. Look at that. It's just coming off. I don't have my nails, so I can't grab it very well. But you get the point. It comes off of, it works really well with fabrics and everything. Now you're thinking, okay, hot glue. This is regular adhesive, like your regular craft adhesive. And you just look. It lifts it right off. See? And there's nothing wrong with that edge. Okay? Ah, you're like, ooh, I missed this. This right here, I'm going to have to let cure. But, I tell you what. I am so confident in this. Now look at here. And I can always glue it back. This is E6000. You're like, oh my god. Once that shit is on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Once this stuff is on there, you're like, oh my gosh, that stuff is stuck down and it will not come off. There is nothing on there. I mean, it's stuck. Well, I'm going to saturate the bottom area here with some undo. And I'm going to let it sit there a moment. Now, this piece of paper here, I glued with regular liquid glue adhesive. Okay? This is just a regular quick drying adhesive that we all use when gluing down projects, papers, or anything of that nature. As you can see, there we go. We can lift it off, let it dry, and we've separated the papers without hurting the front sides of the papers or anything, because all you have to do is dry them and they're ready to be repositioned for another gluing. Okay, now we're going to go back to this. Remember, there, you know, unless you really work with it and bend this metal piece, you could get this off. But why, when you can just soak it with a little bit of undo like that and pop it right off. Did you see how quick that was? I popped it right off. Now, look here. You've got all of that residue of that hot glue. It comes right off of your products, and it comes right off of your pieces, and you do not have to worry about ruining your pearls. Like right here. I know we have some of these. Look at this. This is a pearl I've had in my craft thing where I got glue all over it. Okay? Well, without ruining the luster of the pearl, I'm going to let it soak a moment. And this stuff, wash your hands after you get done using it. It does have a smell of like lighter fluid. If you're sensitive to smells, I would not. Either you can do this out in an open area. But see, you can take this. And see, it dries very quickly. I'm just going to pour it on there, just like that. Let it set on there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this. Now, with E6000, especially on glass pieces, you are going to have to finesse it, okay? It will take it off. You're just going to have to finesse it, okay? So, as you can see, I've lifted some, I don't know if you can or not, but I've lifted some of the glue already, and it's got to seep down into the next level of glue. Projects like this will take some finessing, but you can get it off without hurting the glass or anything of that nature. So see, now you can pour, just put you a squirt like this. Okay. Gonna let that set. Now we're going to go back to this pearl here. Look at that. It's just coming right on off. See? So, you can save your projects. You can save yourself a ton of money and a ton of frustration and a ton of time by owning a bottle of Undo. I mean, look at this. It's just coming right off. Now, that pearl was all messed up before, and now it's ready for a project. And then your flowers here, they're ready to be glued back on. See? Come right off. So, you can save yourself a lot of time, money, again, a lot. I mean, I've used this product for years in my crafting. You know, I really have. I don't even remember a time when I didn't have a bottle. Now, say you've done your E6000, right, and you still have a little time to move the piece off, and then you lift it off. Let me get my tweezers. Oh, let's use these scissors. And you lift it off, and you're like, oh my gosh, I am stuck with the residue. Look at that, E6000 residue. You're like, it will never come off, right? Not anymore. Just put you some little bit of Undo. Give it a little scrape. Like that. Wipe it off. Put you a little bit more. as that little rag had. I'm going to use my craft rag. Look at there. It's gone. And this stuff is great about getting residues off of your tables and your mats. Okay? Now look here. Normally, I'm going to show you, I have used this mat for 6 months. Now I use my my electronic cutting mats very, very much. As you can see, I have glitter, hair, just all kinds of stuff all over this mat. I mean, and then see, I'm having to tape my project onto the mat because the stickiness is gone. Now, some of you say spray it with some adhesive. You can do that. I'm not saying don't do that. You can do that. But I have glitter and all kinds of trash on this mat. I mean, you can see here. Okay? So what I like to do is I will squirt some Undo onto this mat, just like this. You don't have to use a lot. And I'll let it sit for a few moments. Then I'll take this wonderful scraper, or you can use an old credit card or old gift card or anything. And I'm going to show you the gunk it gets off. Look at that. That's paper residue. That's just disgusting. You can see. You're like, you're taking all the sticky off. Actually, I'm not. I'm doing this very fast, see? Okay. You know. Oop. Now look. It's sticky again. Now if I tried to do that, see, it's sticky again. So you can clean up your areas on here. You can clean up your cut mats. Oh my gosh, look here. I know we've all done this, okay? You've got so much gook and stuff on your tools, okay? Now, I'm going to let those sit a moment. This stuff will take stuff off of wood. It will take stuff off of glass, canvas. It will, I mean, it's amazing what this stuff will take off when you need it to be taken off. Okay? So, I've let it sit a few moments. Now normally I let mine set a little bit longer, but for the purpose of this video, and see, one thing I like about the scrapey tool, I call it the scrapey tool, is that while it's still wet on the blades, you can use the scrapey tool to get all of that adhesive off of your scissors, your tools. See? Although they're not perfect because I haven't let it sit on there, like I said, you can actually pour some of this in a container and have it just strictly for your tools, and you can set your tools in there and let them soak for a little bit, and clean it up. There you go. You got that glue off. Might not have got the paint, but I got the glue. And another thing I'm going to show you before I go to a close with this. Let's see. There was a... I had a horrible tool that I used to dig out glue, and I guess I finally eventually threw it away. But it would have taken all the glue off because I had run out of glue and everything. But yeah, it'll clean up your surfaces here. It'll clean up, you know, just a lot of stuff. I mean, you know, and see, it's starting to release. Look at that. There it goes. Starting to release, ladies. I actually want to put a different base on this jar anyway. But you just keep working it. E6000 is a strong glue, but it can be removed. You just have to finesse it. Get it in there, do a little bit more. Get it in there, do a little bit more. But once you get it off of there, you can scrape off the rest of the residue, and it would be as if you never glued it in the first place. And as you can see, I cleaned up my lid for that. This is what I got off of my mat, which is paper residue and trash and everything. It looks like a big black booger. Oh, and another thing I wanted to show y'all. Tool. How many times have we gotten tool glued and messed up and stuff? Let's do this. Let's really get it in there with hot glue. Okay? And then we gotta pull it off. Look at that. You're like, oh, I messed up the tool. Not with undo. Look at, look at, look at. Soak it. Ha ha ha. Look at this. Okay? You're like, well, it's still on there. Well, guess what, ladies? You just pull it gently apart. And say this was your, I wouldn't do this for all your tool. Say it was your very last piece of tool and you absolutely had to have it on a project. I just want to show you that tool can be safe, because tool is the most, it collects the most craziest stuff that you would never think it would collect, but it does. See? It can be done. But I took it apart. See? So, what are we going to do? We are going to get us a bottle of undo. And it can take anything apart. I love it. It is an awesome product that I always like. If you live across seas and you cannot get this product, let me know and I can order you a bottle or two. I always have 2 bottles in my craft area and stuff. And yeah, it's definitely a tool to have in your crafting. It does a wonderful job of removing those you know, sticky things. My friend Lola even, you know how sometimes we'll pick up things and the grease from our fingers or the residue from our fingers will leave an imprint. Undo actually took a greasy potato chip fingerprint off of cardstock. Yep, it did. And look here, I took all of that glue out of that piece of tool. So, all right. I hope this has been a educational video for you to get you this. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have anything that you would like me to try, and adhesive, removable adhesive, if I have it here. If you would like me to try to remove something, let me know. But I'm telling you, it will remove stuff that you would think you wouldn't remove. So it's a good tool saver. It cleans up, it removes stuff off a chipboard, and it's just a very, very, very versatile tool. So, okay, until next time, ladies, bye-bye.